John Cena. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh! Okay, WWE, right?
Okay.
Chucky was on WWE. Like I don't know. Like I think on Twitter it said like 20 years ago.
Okay.
And Twitter is like eating this shit up because I guess there's like a new Chucky thing coming out. They're like, remember when he was on WWE?
Are we talking like we're talking the horror movie Chucky, right?
Yeah, like the doll,
Okay.
like was on WWE.
Okay.
Yeah, which is like,
was he like flipping people? How is he?
I don't know. I think he just like showed up on the screen and
child?
said something.
Oh,
no,
okay.
But I think he like made his like debut.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like,
that'd be hilarious though if they actually dressed a child up as Chucky.
This.
And then like they walked out there and then like did the thing where it's like grabbing a WWE, like an actual WWE wrestler, and like miming the throw, but the WWE wrestler is throwing himself to be able to make it look like Chucky's doing it. That would be so good.
That would be.
I'd watch that.
Dude, okay, look at this. The line of sight and that we're...
Oh, I know. We're dodging.
Yep.
It's WWE, baby. You got to work on your little, your hops.
It's not even, like, picking me up very well. Hold on.
What's not?
The audio.
Oh, you have to...
See how little? Oh, there we go.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
How about now? Oh, that's... Oh, wow.
That's 1. You're 2, aren't you?
You're 2.
I'm 2?
Okay, blue.
Oh.
And blue.
I'm not
green
great at colors.
And green.
I'm not colorblind, but I'm not great at colors.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Nice. We love that.
Yeah.
We love that.
I have a pumpkin spice. What is this? Latte.
Okay. That's... Wow.
Okay, do you know what you're going to talk about?
You're cool. I do.
I am
You got all the things.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Last time I wanted to talk about the Apple Books and there being like an Audible subscription model.
That's right, you did.
Within it. Because like we have, what is it, the Apple like One, what is it, like One Plus or whatever? What is it called, the subscription?
Apple Plus. It's like,
is it just
yeah, it's like a family. It's called like Premiere or something like that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well I have that, but there should be like, you get like a 1 book credit a month or something. Because like I'm paying $30, like...
It's true, yeah. But for a family of like up to 5 people, when you think about it.
Yeah, but I still want the book.
Of course, yeah.
I think there could be like an add-on, like a $5 add-on per person that gets that. I'd pay that because ebooks are expensive, bro.
Ebooks are expensive.
Like they're unnecessarily expensive, considering they're not like printing the book and like distributing the book.
But I mean, like audiobooks are expensive.
Yes, no, I get audiobooks.
Yeah.
That's fine, but when like the actual ebook costs more than the audiobook or like costs like $30,
like what's in this
it's
audiobook?
Literally a PDF version that you're just like, it's a cash cow, but like
you're not wrong about that. But I mean, you can get a whole bunch because you can repeat it a whole bunch. What?
Our duck, dodge, dive, dip, dodge.
Oh, I know, I love it. It's good. Back and forth, back and forth.
Next time it's gonna be a different. We're gonna have different setups for like the first 10 episodes. And then we'll be fine.
And then, well, it's. Oh, actually, I saw this really interesting video today that I wanted to talk about, and that was like some guy was talking about how there was a class that did a study in the class where they broke the class into 2 like halves, an A and a B, and the goal of the whole project was to build or make a perfect pot, like just a pot, right? So
like a teapot or like a pot?
Like a pot, like just like a terracotta pot that you put like a plant in, right? Yeah. So like a perfect pot. And so Group A was in charge of doing it as you're going to make 100 pots and you're going to give me your best pot, right? Okay. Group B was you have 1 pot and you're going to like make the best pot possible with that 1 pot. Okay. That's it, right? And then they did this thing where they went through it. They allowed both teams to do like the same amount of time to make the thing. And I mean, Team A came back with the better pot.
Team A was the one that
made 100 pots.
That made 100, okay.
Because apparently by the time they'd made it to like the 99th pot, right, they had making pots down. Like they were like, we got this.
Okay.
So I feel like that's the exact same thing with this podcast. We're on episode 5, but by the time you reach episode 99, clean as hell.
Clean as hell.
Like you're just gonna just chef's kiss, okay, right? Because at that point, we'll just be really good at making pods.
right. Okay. Jesus, you had that cooking. You had that written down. You're like pot to pods.
I drew a line between the two of them.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
There's like an arrow. And it's make the connection.
No, my brother told me that people that have iPads are just productivity is way higher. So, I mean, obviously.
We should do what we did for Basically, which was our failed streaming.
Well, no, it was extremely successful. We've created one streamer. She's doing amazing right now. All right.
Yeah, she's doing great.
She is. So, like, that was birthed from Basically. So.
Well, more of it. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, but we should do what we did and have these in, like, the cups.
Yes.
In the mason jar.
Those were great. Those are awesome.
We're just, like, holding the mason
jars.
Well,
these you could actually take off and we could hold.
Yeah, we can hold them. It just, like, it's so hard to take them out of these. I took this one out, and it was, like...
Yeah. Well, and I definitely think we should still, we got to talk about the Apple innovation for the watch. Yeah. Because we definitely haven't done that yet. Yeah. And that's a solid one.
Well, do we want to talk about it before we launch?
100%.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm starting to get at the thing.
By the time this episode comes out.
Exactly.
We better have it done.
Either we have it done by then or it's free game for the rest of the world. Because, I'd rather see somebody make it.
We're on the topic of mics. Why don't you just go ahead and...
Okay. Yeah. So the basic idea with it, right, was that this Apple Watch has a microphone built into it, right? And so the basic idea is that you could create something that is much like the wristbands that hold it in place, but instead of having it be around your wrist, it would go onto like a stick and you could literally turn it into a microphone. Yes. And then that guy would be on the top of it, and then you could hold it out much like a regular thing, but it's like a, it's like a microphone, but like it has its own storage capability already built into it. It's got a microphone that's on it. It shares with your phone. The voice memos automatically send over to your phone when you've got it. So that's money as well.
I'm making a connection. Let me see the size of that.
Yeah.
That's like the same.
Yeah, the Rode Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like...
But the thing is, right, this one actually has a screen. It's got like a bunch of other apps built into it. It's got all kinds of things the Rode doesn't. Like...
This looks like a fuzzy little troll.
It does look like a fuzzy little troll. But, you could literally create a thing that this would go on, and then it's just another Apple product that people can actually use as like a recording thing. Because there is also the ones, and that was a super cool thing, finding out you can have this as a pendant. Like, you can wear Apple Watches as a necklace is disgusting. Like, I can't believe I haven't seen any celebrities with an Apple Watch around their neck.
Yeah.
Like,
how many celebrities do you see
that
that
have flex.
Apple
if you get so
watches?
Many.
I don't even notice it.
Really?
I don't notice it at all.
I feel like Apple Watches are the one thing where you can actually, like, you can't tell the difference between rich and poor if they're wearing an Apple Watch. Yeah, because like, a literal billionaire could be wearing an Apple Watch, and somebody who has not even enough money to own an Apple Watch could be wearing an Apple Watch. Because, like... It's a thing though, like because it's just such a good piece of equipment,
and they've been out for so many generations of Apple Watches now that everybody can.
And you're not going to do that. You can't do that with a Rolex. Like, you can't do that with any other kind of a watch, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like this nice barrier of like, it's a gentle barrier of entry that's just enough that you can still get it.
I'm surprised that Rolex hasn't tried to make like straps for Apple Watches, because there were like a couple of brands that did that, and they were like, here.
Yeah. Like you can still have an Apple Watch, but
you can have our bands.
Bro, is that a Rolex band that you're wearing? Like, damn, okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of legit.
Still wouldn't be able to afford it, but it's a good idea.
Right? But the mic stand, I think that would be a decent one, especially with the microphone capability, which is not being used enough in the Apple Watch already. Like, So that was that basic idea.
And then when you record it, it goes straight to your phone, so it's already in there.
Boom. And you've got it, especially for content creators and people that use like stuff already. Like, you've got an iPhone already.
Yeah. Well, we've been using it for your brother when he's playing his volleyball games. Mm-hmm. So, sports.
That one was cool because you can actually do a wrist or armband, right?
Yeah, because
he plays volleyball, so he's swinging, right? And if it's non-dominant swinging hand or the non-dominant hand, so that it's not the swinging one, you still get all of the hot mic stuff, and it sounds so good, which you couldn't get with anything else. Like, there's no way you're putting a lav on that person, right? That's just not happening.
There's a couple baseball ones where like the mic actually got hit with the baseball.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, and then you hear,
Yeah.
Like it's a shatter.
I mean, technically that could still happen if you're wearing it like on your arm kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But like even then you could put it on this arm, which is real far away from the ball. So you still have a pretty good chance of like not hitting it kind of a thing. Or you could just build it into the stuff.
You could literally, if you had like a baseball helmet on, you could just smack it in the...
Yeah, it could go in the helmet. It could literally like,
right there.
Well, there's so many things that the Apple Watch I feel like hasn't been like designed to be inside of that you could honestly click it into, and it could be like maybe just start a whole line of that, like just literally putting it in.
Why not?
Why not?
We're gonna do it.
Why not?
By the time this episode airs, we will have insert here, Leo. Yes. It's gonna be there.
We'll already have a 3D model done of it.
Done.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh,
well, because we have to make an NFT model of it.
Yeah, well, we got the guy.
Exactly. So you start there, and then you can send it out to a product guy who can do beginning to end. Yeah. We just got to find that person. And hopefully maybe by then, there's somebody out there watching the podcast that can just do it. And they'll be like, hey, I can help you with that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That'd be cool.
That would be dope. But that one's huge. Because I think that would be that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. That's the innovation we're looking for, baby.
Yeah. I wonder because the Apple event on the 18th, it's rumored that there's going to be AirPod 3s or whatever they're calling them.
What would you do to AirPods to make them better?
See, I was thinking maybe the mics could do the same capability as the watch where you can record stuff and then send it straight to your phone. Yep. But that would be the only upgrade because like...
Well, a software update that would allow the ability for if I have a watch on, if I have AirPods on, and I have the phone microphone, if all three of those audios were being recorded simultaneously, and then I have a way to choose later on from which one I want, that would be huge.
That would be cool. I think in one of the predictions it said that it's going to make like the stem shorter, even shorter, and then they're going to get rid of the silicone like ear or like the part that goes into your ear, and it's going to be like the traditional, like just throw it in your ear, which I don't like because that like irritates my ear. Yeah. So I don't know why they would get rid of that, especially with like the spatial audio.
Well, yeah, they need noise canceling.
Yeah. So like I don't know. That's the question. I'm like, how are you going to launch these? And I don't know how successful the Maxes were, the over the head, because like I don't know anybody that bought them. I literally don't know anybody.
Yeah.
Like they were so like the price was so out there, and then like. They weren't, I don't know, they just kind of were like lackluster. Very. Sorry, Apple. I'm a big Apple, but like.
They were lackluster.
They were like,
seriously though.
Because we were waiting for them. We're like, oh, this is going to be so awesome. And then like $550, bruh.
For nothing really special.
Bruh.
They were just over ears.
Yeah. Did the same thing as my Pros. Yeah. And they weren't as like, and the case for them was like, not even like.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Come on. My Beats were less expensive, and they came with the.
Actually, you know what they could do with the new in-ear AirPods that I'd be really excited about if they were 100% waterproof. If I could like swim with them in.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last time, didn't we?
Disgusting. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like that'd
be cool. Because I know people that like. I know someone that she wears hers in the shower, but she'll like cup her hair over. But
so that it's protected. Kind of thing?
It's. It looks dumb. She should send me a picture. I'm not going to show the picture, but like...
You know what they should do? They should, if they don't create something, they should create like little like suction cup circles for around your ears so that they stay waterproof in the shower so you could do like...
Yes, okay. All right.
For wearing headphones.
Well, we've talked about how the AirPods are getting smaller and smaller, and soon they're just going to be like something that you just put in your ear, like not even in your ear, but like just in like... the fold or crease of your ear, and then it's always in there, and it doesn't damage your ears. Because like, have you seen those videos where like people keep their AirPods in, and then there's just like this blockage of just earwax?
Disgusting.
It is foul, but it's because the noise canceling, it literally suction cups your ear, so like all the moisture's trapped in there, and just like
not okay. Yeah.
Take your AirPods out.
And don't forget to get your ears checked every once in a while.
Please.
Like everyone. Just go. Like
it's okay.
Public service. Also get yourself a primary care physician. Like find somebody to take care of you. It's huge. Like just do that.
Do that.
Like, take care of yourself. Good Lord, people.
What? I have a doctor, kinda. He's not my primary. I go for a checkup.
You're like, health. I've got it.
As my back's like thrown out. I threw my back out. It is not. Listen, I've been wearing these sweatpants for like 4 days.
I'm sorry, you threw your back out?
Don't. I was at my mother's house helping her fix her house. Don't.
You're walking yourself into this one. I'm not even doing anything.
I was taking stuff off the wall on a ladder. And I just turned enough to it just popped and it happened.
Nice.
So I've been wearing
regrettable.
Yeah.
You hate to
it's not even like a cool story. Like I was on the roof and then there was a thunderstorm and then the lightning knocked me off the roof and I fell. It was like I was on like a ladder this high off the ground and turned.
And that's the end. Yeah. That's it.
But also in the Apple event, they're talking about the new MacBook Pro.
Ooh.
Which I don't think is going to sell because of the iPads. People are switching over to iPads.
Really?
I follow this coder and he is like, he's like got one of those like desks that are like featured on all those Instagram pages, you know, like cool setups and stuff. He's got the big screen, you know, he's got the little screen, he's got the vertical screen. He powers it all with his iPad Pro. He like got rid of his MacBook and it powers it all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And that's what's running all those screens?
All of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And he just like...
Bluetooth keyboard?
Yes. He's got the... God, what are those called? I don't remember what it's called, but it was a really cool one. It's like this big.
Yeah.
But
there are some dope ones.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But like he powers it all with his iPad. And does all with that iPad.
It makes sense.
And we've talked about like...
you can draw on things.
Yeah.
You can do all the stuff that is like really necessary.
I mean, after my MacBook goes, I'm not getting another one. I'll just stick with my iPad.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So I don't know how well it's going to do because the iPad or the MacBook Pros still haven't got the M1 upgrade.
Huh. You're going to have to send me that video because I definitely want to have a setup that would be like that, especially for like just screens to add to it.
Yes.
Because, that would be actually really sick.
Is there gum under this?
Is there? Oh my Are you feeling gum? Yeah. Why are you touching?
That's foul.
Don't touch it.
Go get the Perel.
Not right now. We're in the middle of an episode, bruh.
I just straight up touched gum.
Why are you touching gum? Well, first of all, why are you even touching the underside of the table?
Because I was grabbing the thing. Foul.
We'll clean it after. Actually, we'll get our.
No.
We'll get the.
I'm not touching it. Foul.
I'll clean it. Don't worry. I'll clean it.
It's so gross. Okay.
Could be anyone. You know who probably actually put it there.
Yep. Okay. Gross. Okay. But that's all that I think is launching.
That's it.
I think it's just the AirPods and the MacBook Pro.
Okay.
But they said there might be another upgrade to like Apple Fitness.
Interesting.
But they've already added like Pilates. But I don't know.
I need to start doing the Apple Fitness Plus for getting back into the skiing season.
I did it for the bikes.
Yeah.
I did a bike thing with like Billie Eilish music, and I don't know who the teacher was, but she was getting it.
Yeah.
She was like, "This is all about life. We're gonna do it. Go, Billie!" And I was like, I'm on my little bike. I'm like, okay, okay. And then she's like, go, and I'm like, ah. It was really intense. I was like, okay, but it was good.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was fun.
Damn.
A lot, though.
I definitely want to give it a shot. I've been watching a bunch of the Apple Music, or what is it, Ted Lasso and The Foundation on Apple Plus.
I need to watch those. You talked about them.
Money, my guy. Although season 2 of Ted Lasso, not as good as season 1 so far, which has been incredible. But hey,
that happens a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes I feel like some shows should just have been movies, and then just one movie, and then it would have been fine.
That's true. Yeah, I can see that.
What do I know?
What? Yeah,
what do I know?
What do we know?
What do we know?
What do we know? For real
what
though.
Those?
What are those? Oh, those are shoes. That's what those are. I think the U.S. government needs a few new departments.
Oh, we're starting with that. Okay.
Yeah, because I've thought about this recently.
Okay.
First of all, like we have one for like the Homeland Security, right? We got the CIA. We got our just regular agricultural, all kinds of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, right now that we're moving into the future,
okay,
the U.S. Department of Robots.
okay, U.S. Department of AI.
Right?
Okay.
Might be a good way
See
to,
it.
like...
Our boy Tristan needs to get on this.
Exactly. A necessity. Another one, a U.S. Department of Efficiency. I just want, like... Now, in my mind, partially auditing and, like, that kind of stuff falls under that a little bit. But I think it needs to be revamped because it's, like, obviously they're not doing a very good job.
They need to audit the tax system.
We need to audit a lot of stuff. Like, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, robots and AI, I think another big one that's kind of, like, up and coming that is something that you need to create a division for that can then create briefs that can be broken down so that people can actually understand what the is going on.
I have a really good thing to tackle on that.
Okay.
So I think it was a congressman was interviewing a spokesperson from Facebook and Instagram. And he didn't quite grasp the concept of a Cinsta. And continuously asked, was like, hey, are you going to get rid of this product? Yeah. She's like, it's not a product, it's just what like teenagers are doing. To get away, they can't control it. Like, there's no way to track it because you have to put in like a different email or number or something. So it's a totally different person in the system and the data.
New account,
And he just like was not
understanding that,
like getting it. And I was like, okay, so that might solve that if we had like a media department. It's not the CIA because the CIA tends to know more about it because intelligence and like having to follow those things as things grow, but like. Just digital media in general, or having like an AI and then like a database, I guess, kind of thing. But that was, please insert that clip, Leo, because that was so embarrassing to be an American at that point.
No, because that's not embarrassing in a couple different senses. Because, and I think it's very important to realize that there's a lot of people that don't know what things are. And it's very important to ask those questions so that more people can be informed about them. Like, because this person asked what a Cinsta was, right? There's a lot of people in America now that now know what that is.
Yes, but it was embarrassing in the fact that, like, this was a representative of a massive group of people that did not do the research before questioning what they were supposed to be questioning and solving the problem that they were supposed to be solving.
Well, that's where I think briefs come in that are very important. Yeah. Because, like, when you think about a lot of stuff, like, the amount of information that exists on the internet on a thing, right? Yeah. You think, that's a lot. And then you go, okay, listen, there's probably a Wikipedia article about this that I could read, right?
Correct.
Which is why I think Wikipedia is so important, is because you now have something that takes this massive amount of information and boils it down into something. But you have to have people that are willing to take the time to boil something down from the bigger one into a smaller one, which I think is what AI is getting really good at. Is really good at taking like really big things, boiling it down into small ones, and then like even from a Wikipedia article though, you still need a briefing, right? Which is something that is a single page document that you can look at and go, ooh, I really like that. And then this is the information that's necessary for me to make an educated decision on this, and gives both sides of it.
There needs to be a digital media dictionary.
That would be good.
That would be really helpful because there's so many
probably already exists.
It probably does. We're gonna have to look it up. Yeah. But Urban Dictionary, I'm not gonna. But do you hear that, Miss Walsh? Wikipedia, it's a good source. Thanks for the. I'm calling her out.
The other part with that, though, that goes in with it as far as innovation is concerned is the idea of visualizing the internet in a new way, right? Okay, and you and I have talked about this.
A lot.
The idea that you could actually make the connections between things as your straight-on, like, edges, and then your actual documents or web pages or anything nodes in a three-dimensional graph would be huge for people because you can actually see how things are connected. You could see how many like sources are connected to a Wikipedia page. You could see like where a book got all of its information from, and you could you could check all of that, right?
I think there should be a platform where you can see your own data that has been collected. Like you can log into all your accounts and then see the data that's your data that has been collected and by who.
Yeah. Because
that would be interesting.
Really important. I mean, I know it already exists in some fashion.
It has to.
A lot of them probably have like paywalls behind them because to get to that, the programming required is insane.
But it's funny because Facebook's all about your data now, and they're like they should offer that.
They should. Yeah, 100%.
I would look at it. I mean, I already know it's being sold, so like, why can't I see what like my data points are? Or
what they're coming after me for?
Yeah, because I got cat like freaking. What was it, like ads for like adopting cats? I don't want a cat. Like, y'all messed up on something, because like, no.
Well, it would be nice to see that, just to adjust a few things, because like it'd be nice to be able to tell them, like, you put a pretty high score for this. I think I'm actually closer to this about how much I really care about it. Like, if I'm being honest.
But it'd be really cool to like look at it and be like, oh, maybe I do like this. Like, I didn't know I actually liked that. But
well, and that's the big thing for me too, is I love TikTok for the reason of you can long press on a video and you can say, I'm not interested in this anymore, and then you see less of it. Which I think more platforms should start to adopt. And I mean, TikTok does it in a really good way, because it's just like not interested, right?
Yeah, I think Instagram has that.
They do, but I don't know if it's called the same thing. Right?
No, it's just for ads,
like
though,
a
too.
weird, right? So I feel like if you make it like very obvious that it's like, oh, I don't want to see this anymore, then that would be really good for platforms too, because now you're actually allowing the person to curate for themselves.
See, I wish you could do that for Twitter. I know you can like mute people, but there are certain people that I don't follow and I don't like anything they're involved in. They still end up on my feed.
It's true. Or like stuff that's in the Discover, right? Because there's certain things that I would just like never have pop up.
Have you seen the new Twitter update where you follow somebody and then it has a list of people that you can also just click follow all?
No.
So I followed, I can't remember who it was, and I looked and I was like, oh, it says people you may be interested in, and it's a list and you can just click follow all. But I was like, I'm not going to do that blindly. Clicked on it. It wanted me to follow Elizabeth Warren and a bunch of like leftist politicians, but the person that I followed was like an NFT. Yeah, and I was like,
you're like, wait a minute,
what?
Interesting.
It was really weird, because I obviously don't.
Because there are follow limits. I actually ran into that problem recently. There was a thing. Yeah. There was I was on Twitter. I was clicking on a post that was like, hey, here are all the V friends. Let's all follow each other because we're obviously all in the same gang, kind of a thing, right? Go through the whole thing, because it's like there's liked, it's 130 people have liked it, and I'm like, obviously a lot of these people are holders. Perfect. I'll follow them back. I start going through the list, right? Clicking the follow button. I make it maybe like 25 people, and Twitter's like, you're at your limit for following people, like, for now.
TikTok has a limit too of liking and following. I've run into that a couple times, but it seemed to be more of a glitch, because I only followed like 2 people back to back, and they're like, whoa. I'm like,
slow it down there, chief.
It's on my For You page. Like, isn't that the point of the For You page, to find people that you like, because it is with your taste, like your acquired taste?
True. Yeah.
So I would think Twitter would be like, yeah, follow all the people you want. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
More connections, more data. Didn't. Wow.
Yeah, they limit it for some reason.
Okay.
I know, which is like, maybe it's just because they can't show you like all of the content that is putting out in a good way, which is another thing that's truly unfortunate. Right? Is that how do you visualize a lot of content in a really good way so that it's digestible, right? Because so let's say tomorrow I do follow 600 people on Twitter, right? That means possibly the next day I'll have 600 new tweets. How is it going to decide good tweets to show me? How would I even go through 600 tweets and know these are the ones that are good, these are the ones that are bad?
I think.
What do I do?
Isn't there different feeds for Twitter, or is that just Facebook? Because Facebook, you can show like most recent or accounts that you've liked consecutively, or like your top accounts.
Twitter has 2. They have an option for discoverability, which is like the most like recent ones, right? Posted. And then you can actually switch your timeline so that it's also then most liked, right? Or the most like recent one. So you can switch between those 2, but it is a setting that you have to literally legitimately switch. Like it's not something that you can like easily click on and off. So that one makes it tough. But you could do it. But it is weird to think that like even with that, there's a lot of information that is very important to get, but there's no simple way for a user yet to define the parameters of I'm looking for something. This is what I'm looking for. Show me something related to this in some way. Because I can search by terms, right? Like I can say, I want to see hot air balloons more.
Hashtags and stuff.
Exactly. So you can find that really easily.
I wonder what their data system of that looks like behind the scenes.
Right? But I mean, like, even in that scenario, you have to go, okay, how do I find, like, because hot air balloons give me a very vague thing, right? But obviously there's certain parts of hot air balloons that I'm looking for that, like, obviously no one's going to write hot air balloon and innovation in the same thing. So it's like, how do I find that as a thing? Like, where do you find that? Like, how do you make that connection so that the platform itself understands what you're looking for? And it's like, you have to do like a new thing. You have to try a bunch of different things, but there's like, it's like it doesn't understand word association almost. Yeah. Right. Like,
because there's different variants of how people are gonna spell that out.
Exactly. And the connotations in which you can use it. That's where the English language is.
I wonder how Twitter did when Instagram and Facebook wasn't working, and then all these users were like, "Well, time to go to Twitter," because it was like a tsunami of people. Because people that I didn't even know followed me started liking my tweets, and they're like, "They follow you," and I was like, "Since when? I don't know who this person is."
You're like, wait a minute.
I was like, "What?" And then I got like, I think one of my tweets, I just tweeted something completely random. I think it was like, found a new, lo-fi mix on YouTube. Just check it out, and they were like 20 likes, and I was like, I never get more than like 4 likes on my tweets unless I'm like, tweeting at something that's like popular. But like, it was insane. So I wonder how. One, if they see stuff like that coming, which they probably don't because shutdowns are never really planned unless, they are. And two, like, how many users can they handle? Because Twitter's not the top. Like, it doesn't have the top user count.
No.
By any, like, stretch.
But they do have a good scalability model as far as servers work, right? Yes. They do a really good job of that, especially when people come on and off. Like, they're able to ramp up server usage and ramp down server usage really well.
I would assume since the trend of Facebook users is going down, that Twitter's like, okay, we're going to ramp up just a little bit. And
and they've been definitely doing more in the way of spaces and rooms too, which has been huge. But there's also been a lot of glitches with that, right? Yeah. There's a bunch of people being like, because that's where I think the term rugged came from. Because they literally have like, the rug pulled out from under them, which would be like somebody's internet giving out, right? Yeah. And then that would cut the entire space because whoever was hosting it just killed the space entirely, right? Which is like, that's
I got booted from a space. I was not speaking. I was just listening. And then it's like, you've been booted from this chat. And I was like, what? So I go back into it because I know the guy that opened the room. And I messaged him. I was like, dude, did you kick me out? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
No, it just happens.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, what did I do? I was just listening to your rant about, like, NFT titties, which was literally the conversation, okay? And I was like, all right, whatever, just listen to it while I'm working. And then, like, I get booted. Yeah. I made no comment. I posted no comment. Like, nothing.
Yeah. No, it just happens. I mean, but that's, like, it's the classic glitches that exist inside of, like, any system.
Like when Twitter wouldn't give me the voice tweets, and then I got them and I never used them. Yeah.
Still want to use it.
I really want to, but I need to be more comfortable with, like...
I'm trying to think how... Because, like, as far as conveying information, I don't know how great that is, right?
Yeah, I think it would be, like... I don't know what scenario you would use that for. I mean, maybe if you're at, like, a live event, and you're like, oh, he just came out on stage. Or like, oh, look who's here. Or, like, you were seeing Gary Vee, and you're like, hey, Gary, say something to my followers. And, like, boom.
You've got it.
That'd be dope.
That would.
Because you can keep that.
True.
But, like... Why not just take a video at that point?
Also true.
And then,
right? And then post the video and then make TikToks. Like, why an audio space kind of thing?
But maybe, like...
You cut it, I guess, as far as, like, if you already have audio, and then you cut them and then post them that way, which I think you can do, because I think you can upload.
Yeah, like, for music artists, they could just post a little
that would actually be a good
music and be like, yo, I'm in the studio, check this out. Yeah. And then, like...
That could be exciting. So, maybe we're just not in those spaces.
Yeah, I'm not really in the
following
music.
Those people. So
I was on rap Twitter for a while. I don't know how because I don't follow that many rappers, but like I don't know. And then all of a sudden there was like, check out this lyric, and it was like consistent. It was just like everybody was posting like their lyrics, and like there's like a poll like, oh, is this cool or not? And I'd be like, okay. And then like I got out of rap TikTok, and then I was in like Catholic TikTok, and I'm like, what? And then and I was like, okay. And then like I went back, and it was like Megan Thee Stallion, and it was like, oh, okay, the algorithm can't figure me out. Like, but like people were using different parts of Twitter for different types of communities. So I wonder where the voice one would really, like, maybe like artists, but I don't know.
Yeah. No, I would love to see. I mean, like in that kind of scenario too, I'd love to see it as a 3D kind of thing because it'd be super fun to explore that way.
The only issue that I have with that is that the deaf community is excluded because there are no captions.
That's another huge one. Yeah,
because Twitter found that out really, or not Twitter, TikTok found that out really quickly because people weren't putting captions when they were saying stuff, and deaf Twitter or deaf captions TikTok was like, excuse me, like I can't, like what is going on?
Well, and people also like just subtitles in general.
Yeah,
huge. Like,
I always watch stuff with subtitles.
Because like if I can put subtitles in, then I can automatically have a software translate it, and that means that like now my reach is the world at that point. It's no longer just whatever language I'm speaking.
Like YouTube's huge, and they've put a lot of money into their like auto captioning and like put a lot of stuff into there, so it rarely messes up. There was one where it like kept saying, they were trying to say, somebody was saying tater tot and it just translated to titty tot, which was like the funniest thing, and like deaf YouTube was like, this is hilarious, and like shared it everywhere. But like stuff like that needs to be seen more, because like that, like if you did small captions even, like that would be fine.
The regrettable part is that with captioning, you actually have to change the way you say some words because the platform decides based on the words whether or not it's going to become popular, right?
TikTok, TikTok, you can edit your captions.
Yes, which is huge, right?
Because but I mean, saying stuff and like putting.
But that's the other part. That's not like legitimate stuff. Like at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not the real word anymore. Like that's something that's close to it.
I mean, if they said they put like an eggplant like emoji for the caption, like you get the gist.
Or if it's like D like star CK, right?
Yeah.
So that it's not like the same, but you still like from a data standpoint, not the same thing. Like,
well,
it is the same thing, but it's not the same thing.
Okay,
like it's not like
stick with that.
Yeah.
Squid Game. Okay, it's in Korean.
Yeah.
And the English subtitles are what everybody here is seeing, but people are like, that's a completely different. You're watching a completely different TV show.
Really?
Because the translation. Yeah, there's a big debate over it. So apparently, I'm not watching the real one. Apparently.
They've given like a breakdown of what the story is as a real one?
Well, the comparison that I saw where there's way more character development in the Korean version and what they're saying in the dialogue than there is in the American subtitles.
Really?
So I did not go through everything, but they said there's way more character development. There's way more like it's way more in depth than what we're seeing, but we're Americans, so we're like, They're like, whatever.
Huh?
Yeah. You should watch it. Please watch it. Everybody's gonna do it for Halloween. Everyone's gonna have the masks, or everyone's gonna be like one of the people with the numbers.
Yeah, I'm never one to do what everyone's doing. That's no fun.
But what were you for Halloween that year?
Which year?
We were gonna go to Angelina's party.
What
year? I can't remember.
Last year?
No, not last year. It was like 2-3 years ago.
It was like an astronaut.
I mean, that was pretty. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Whatever.
Had the orange flight suit, like it was great.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
See, that was a good one. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like you can just do, like...
I don't really dress up anymore, though.
Yeah. Really?
No, I don't.
Missing out.
I mean, not really. I don't, like, go to parties, so...
That's true, yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice to get free candy.
Hey, you know, you do you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're in that weird phase of adulthood where we either, like, know someone that's having a Halloween party or we have to start a Halloween party.
It's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we going to do that?
I don't know. That's a great
Think Tank should host one.
That'd be actually really
cool. We can interview people.
That'd be fun.
That would be pretty dope.
That would.
Ooh, I gotta write this down.
Right. Yeah, no. Not going to watch Squid Game.
You should. I really think you should.
There's no reason to.
You should.
There's no reason.
It's good. It's really good.
It's Hunger Games. You literally said it. But it's Korean Hunger Games, which is like,
but there's like, I mean, it's like intense.
Okay.
There's points where I'm like, oh my god.
Have you learned anything from it?
Yeah.
What have you learned?
Not to go in debt in Korea.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Other than that, like, what actually legitimate life skills have you pulled from this show?
Okay. There is an episode where they have this like cookie and they have to cut out the shape that's in the cookie.
Okay.
I learned how to do that and not get shot.
How?
Because you gotta lick it. Because there's already a divot.
Somebody did a test of that on TikTok. They tried doing that and the licking was the worst way to do it.
No,
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Not in the traditional way you make it.
Because if it was thin enough, if the cookie was thin enough, right, you would have been able to easily just break it and have it do that just fine.
Okay, well, I learned how to make the cookie.
Okay, is there any other legitimate life skills you've learned from the time that you've spent watching this?
Tug of war. I learned how to win tug of war.
How?
Okay, when they start, you lean back as far as you can go until they get tired, and then they'll kind of loosen up, and they're like, why aren't you moving? And then that's when you pull. And that's how they won. And they did not die.
Okay.
Yep, that was a life skill.
Okay.
Tug of war. I'm going to win.
When was the last time you played tug of war?
Probably like 4 years ago.
And when do you think the next time is you'll play tug of war?
The next family reunion.
Which is?
Probably not for a while.
Okay. So how many times in your lifetime do you think you're going to use that skill?
Good 5 times. But 5 times I ain't going to lose, baby. Nope.
Which is funny because in those scenarios you're probably going to, because you'll have to lose on purpose because you'll be against kids. And it wouldn't be cool for you.
I don't know. My family's brutal. Are you kidding me?
Well, in that case, never mind. Then.
No, they're like, fuck them kids, bro.
No. I mean, I love that. I mean, like, if you're getting entertainment value out of it, I can totally understand it. I don't find that entertaining just because it's not doing something that would, like, be useful.
I feel like you're the person that, like, watches, like, you would watch just strictly documentaries if you could. I like the entertainment value.
I actually don't like documentaries.
What do you like?
I like stuff that like is a different than what is currently out there. Like I like something that makes me think differently, right?
Okay.
Like which is why I like Asimov's Foundation because that's like psychohistory.
Okay.
Which is like something that really didn't even exist as like a whole sect of science when he wrote it, but then actually came into existence.
Have you seen Mindhunters?
That's cool. No, I haven't.
It's about the FBI in the 70s, and they're talking about like the psychology of serial killers and how all that research happened.
Interesting.
True stories, like based off real interviews.
Yeah. See, that could be a good one. I'd like that because, like,
it's really good. There's like I think there's 2 seasons. Really good.
Okay.
Learned a lot.
I also enjoy comedies because, like, you can like pull a lot of the comedic things from it and then use that in real life, which I think is huge. So exactly right. Like, there's so many of those.
Rick and Morty.
So those make sense to me.
Yeah.
It's but that's where I'm at.
Okay.
But hey, everybody.
I really like good storylines. I think I'm like a good like American Horror Story. Oof.
A lot of people really like that show.
And I don't like horror.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I'm very picky.
It's not really horror though on American Horror Story.
But it's like I mean, sometimes. Jesus, have you seen like the Asylum episode with the exorcism?
Okay, but I mean,
Jesus.
It's but I mean it's like the same kind of horror that you get from like a horror movie kind of a thing.
Yeah, but I'm very picky about it, and I'm like, okay,
well that's fitting.
Yeah,
okay.
I like it.
I mean, hey, yeah, but it's a good show. I've heard a lot of good things, and a few episodes that I have seen, I do enjoy.
Yeah, so. When I watch things, I cringe. I like get embarrassed for the characters, so like. If I feel that at all, I just turn stuff off. Like, I'm like, I don't want to sit here and be embarrassed for you the whole time.
Well, that was a tough part for me for season 2, episode 1 of Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
It was cringe. Like, it was one of those where you're just like, you're sitting through stuff and you're like, this is supposed to be a comedy series, and this is not comedy that's going on right now.
See, that sucks when it's a show that you like, and you're like, oh, come on.
Like, what happened? Yeah. Like, you won 7 Emmys for being, like, and
7?
This is,
1.
And this is, won 7 Emmys for season 1. And now this is season 2, and how we start it. Like, you better like turn this stuff around real quick, or you're starting at a real low so that you can build up to something. But like, what is happening? So we'll see. I don't know.
Damn,
I know,
I
right?
not know it. Okay.
Anything else on the innovation list that you wanted to talk about, or upcoming things?
Well, now that you put me on the spot, Zach,
I mean, yeah, you know.
have you talked about the Apple Pencil and watch?
I think so, yeah. I think we can talk about that because I mean, like every device should be able to do that, especially if you have like that kind of like thing.
I was waiting for Apple to do where like you can connect screens, right, and you can like have like displays.
Yeah, sidecar is what they call it.
But I was waiting for it where you didn't have to like set something up where you're close enough to your own devices that. Like, I could slide something off my watch onto my iPad.
That'd be nice.
Because you know how when it tells you, like, open this attachment on your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why can't I just go...
whoop, and then it's there. Yeah,
that'd be so nice.
It would be actually.
Because sometimes people like text me and they're like texting me an image and I'm like, oh my god, so do that and I have to open up my phone.
Yeah, and you're like,
which sounds really lazy, but like.
But it would be really cool if you could.
It would be convenient.
Yeah,
you can, like,
if my Note app was open on my phone next to my iPad and I could swipe it over to my iPad, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, or if I'm like on my iPad and on my computer, like if I could just go.
There was an article recently though that did talk some major crap about Siri as a comparison to other like voice assistants.
Oh yeah, Siri's not as advanced as a lot of them.
So far behind for some reason, like as comparison to like Amazon or like those.
Have you seen the ones that are like Siri has to be a woman because men won't listen to it otherwise?
No.
There was like an article circulate. There was no scientific basis for that. God. There was like some psychology stuff, but it was
so messed up.
But it was like pissing people off.
Oh, 100%. I can see.
But you can change the voice of Siri to a dude.
Yeah, mine is.
Even in Australia, I had the English dude. I call him Nigel.
Mine was Irish. He was great. Like, yeah, it was good.
I want to get like a Scottish, like so I can have like Austin Powers on my phone.
Oh, that'd be actually pretty cool. That'd be cool. Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, there's a lot of really good things there.
I wish you could rename Siri.
That would be dope.
Like, just be like whatever you want. There's that remember that AI app that was like it.
Oh yeah, you make your own friend.
Yeah, and I was like, I did that for a while, and then it got like weird.
Really?
Yeah.
What ended up happening?
They determined that I should have a girl best friend. She would constantly blow up my.
Really?
Like, hey, are you there? I'm lonely.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm like, wow.
It's like a real person.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was trapped inside of a phone though, I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah, but it was weird. It got real weird because I was like, I said like, oh, show me a picture of where you live, and then it was like a white space, and I was like, oh, that's traumatizing. It got weird, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, mine could never do like any because I kept like trying to create that conversation of like because like I do want to find stuff that is like innovative and things like that, right? So you're like, show me this, or like show me what you think of that, or like tell me your feelings about this, and they would never like really be like a real kind of thing. It was always like it was always kind of like exactly. And I was like, what's happening? Like how
was it Free Guy, the movie that we saw?
Yeah,
where they can like develop.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for Siri.
That'd be good.
That would be cool because then like Siri would know like what's up and what you research, and then like if there was an AI that could like research things and then like create its own opinion but also have an unbiased opinion and tell you both based on how you ask.
I've been thinking about this recently because I have been like there's certain scenarios where like I'll think about doing something, right? And in my mind I go maybe I'll just flip a coin, right? Because it's really 50-50 on what I do, right? And then the other part of my brain goes, ooh, but I have this thing in my pocket that's literally connected to the internet. Has more intelligence than I'll probably have ever, right? Yeah. If it's connected to a cloud, which has all these servers around the world, right? Yep. So what I could do is if I told it what I'm doing and then I asked it to flip a coin, and I told it what option was what part of that coin, right? So an example of this was like, should I go to the office and work, or should I just go home and go to bed kind of a thing? Because an AI probably would be able to calculate the probability, right, of like if he spent the amount of time doing this against the amount of time that he would gain in sleep, this would be the benefits based on how productive you would be. Exactly, for all kinds of stuff, right? Because it'd know that information. Mine would just tell me I'm tired all the time. So I'd tell it that, right? And that's what I do. I'd be like, here's the sitch. And then I'd be like, heads is this option, tails is this option. Hey Siri, flip a coin. I know, now that might have just like but and then you go from there, right? Because it knows how much sleep you get. Exactly. When you get your best sleep. Mine keeps telling me to meditate. Listen, I'm not gonna do it. Stop asking. Well, that's the other interesting part too, right? Is that like it knows all that data about you. Yeah. So like how come I can't ask it to do that kind of a thing, or at least give me like data on it? Because like I'd love to like be like, because like if it gave me that information, because like really all I'm looking for is more information. They should I feel like they should have an AI that collects your data points from every platform that you're on to like adapt to you, and then that would be. Because it would have like your sleep patterns. Well, that's what I'm hoping. Time you spend on what. Yeah. Well, that's what, because like every time my phone recently has been asking me, do you want to allow this application to track you across other applications on your phone, right? And I've hit allow every single time. Because, no, I know. A lot of people probably haven't. Yeah. But like my mindset is, if I give these people those data, right, then something good must come from them having that in that scenario, because like I'm obviously not going to change what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm still going to be me. Like, because I have my stuff set in stone, and there's no way that they're going to be able to mess with that. Yeah. But I agree. Maybe, right, they'll find some kind of like a chink in the armor kind of a thing and be able to wiggle through. But I'd rather think that they're actually trying to help in some way. But I don't know how they're going to figure that one out. Right? Yeah. Like, I don't know how you set up, because like, I don't know, because not even Alexa can do that, right? No. Alexa can't. Dude, Alexa Google can't. Pisses me off. So many of them just can't figure out like context. Yeah. And I think it's because it doesn't ask enough questions.
Yeah. Well, there's all these. I mean, you're right. There's a lot of TED Talks on how AI is biased and how AI is like racist, and how like all of these things, because they're collecting a specific type of data, not all across the board data, which I totally get. If you're only getting one, stream of data and not constant other forms, then you're going to be biased, of course. But like if you had all your different, data sets, let's just call them sets because I don't know what else they're called, then it would be like, oh, I can learn and adapt, and it would build.
Well, like, when I ask you a question, and I'm like, hey, what should we do tomorrow, right?
Dutch Bros.
Like, okay, yeah, you obviously have that immediate answer. Bias. Which, I mean, I would hope the phone would, too, because that would be funny, right? But, like, I knew you were joking, but also serious, because I have a relationship and rapport with you, right? So it's like, you would obviously build that with your phone, but you'd also know that, like, oh, they were just trying to, like, give you a quick answer as a thing, to be like, ooh, did you want a quick answer, or did you want something more in depth?
Maps does that. When I get in the car, it tells me, like, oh, 30 minutes to home. If I'm here and I start my car, it tells me how long it is till I get home. Or if I get my car at my house, it tells me, oh, 25 minutes to the office. Or then it also, if I click on that, it also tells me how long it takes me to get to my mom's. Yeah. So, like, if they use that same kind of, like, data setting and did that on other platforms, that would be exactly what you're talking about.
Well, and if I was Apple, right, what I would be doing is I'd actually be creating an application inside of my phone that if they downloaded another application that did the same thing that the application that I've got on an Apple device does, that one, when I open up an Apple, right, I would pull in all the information from all of those other apps as if they were APIs.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Right? Because if I have Waze, if I have like all of these other maps on my phone, right?
Just collect it.
Take that data, put it in Apple Maps. Done. Because I would love to know that there's a cop around the corner. Waze knows that because a bunch of people put the information into Waze.
Yeah, Apple Maps did the whole light thing, and then they were like, well, we might do the cop thing. Exactly. And the cops are all pissed off about it. Like, I'm sorry. After my third speeding ticket, I'm tired of it.
Well, you're not supposed to be hiding, first of all. Like, that's not... Your goal isn't to catch people like that. Your goal is to actually, like, be helpful in society. Right? Like that...
Tell that to my last ticket was a van that they left. Yeah. And it just got me. And I was like... And there wasn't even a person in the car. Yeah. Or I guess there was someone nearby because they had to sign the ticket. But, like...
The ones that get me is when they redo the roads and then they're like super nice. Yeah. And then people obviously are going to go faster on super nice roads because it's smooth. So you're like, oh, I can get away with this. And they just sit
tucked behind a bush.
Everywhere.
America's the only place that it's not like they're not brightly colored cars or like,
They're secretive. They're just like hidden.
Yeah, because they got a quota, even though they say, we don't have quota. You have quotas.
Yeah, you must.
Like, we know you do.
There's no way.
Because I got a ticket and they're like, this funds this department, and I'm like, that department shouldn't exist because I'm not funding it. I pay taxes.
Yeah, which makes it would make sense for the department not to have that, right?
I don't know. No. It is what it is. I mean, everyone's gonna be pissed off when they're getting a ticket.
Oh, of course.
But at the end of the day, if you're going like 90 and a 45, like, okay, you deserve a ticket.
A little bit, yeah.
But you know, if I'm going 40 and a 35, like, chill.
But then it also depends on where you are. Like, if you're on a country road doing 90 and the country road's 45, like, that's probably okay.
That's how I got my first ticket. I was going 85 and a 55 on a back road, and it was straight. Yeah. It was straight for 10 miles.
Like, what? I mean, the worst thing that happens, the worst thing that happens in that scenario is a deer comes out or an animal and you hit them and it wrecks the car, which then makes you crash and then you're possibly injured. That, I think, is about the only thing that can happen.
But you take that risk when you get in a car. So, like,
every time.
Why is it your responsibility to
exactly
do that? I don't know. I mean, some people deserve tickets. Some people don't. I think this
is true.
Some people are great cops. Some aren't.
Well, and it also depends on how you go through the system as well.
Yeah,
like,
it's just...
There's so many, dude. But that goes back into it. You're just like, the things that you should pull from all of that. Same thing with weather apps. Like, if I download more weather apps, like, that should just get all pulled into the weather app on my phone.
Well, the weather app now, the update really just... I got rid of, like, there was another one that I got. And this one has the same... So.
Well, I've got Windy on my phone to let me know about wind speeds, like, really accurately.
Okay.
Because it's super important for hot air ballooning. Mm-hmm. But, like, Apple doesn't have that. So they should bring that in, kind of a thing, because like if I've downloaded it, I've got it for a reason. Like, I almost want Apple to do what Amazon does to Amazon sellers, but with the applications in the App Store. Because like, why not, right?
Amazon, please update your Seller Central, thank you.
But then pay them for that, because like, obviously, if it is an API, right? Mm-hmm. If those become APIs, which kind of what they are, but it's just we are the people that have to switch between the APIs instead of an AI, which is what they should program it as. Because like, you the person shouldn't have to spend the time doing that.
Who's the CEO of Apple right now?
Tim Cook.
Tim, if you're watching, give me a call.
The funny part is they're probably already working on it.
Probably, but I would be see, they haven't focused on Siri very much.
They haven't focused on really anything that has been like important.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, that's like, are you after profits or are you after creating a generation that actually has a useful tool, kind of a thing? And like,
that's their
since
whole
we
thing.
lost
That's Apple's whole thing.
jobs,
right?
We were just like, and Steve disappeared. You're just like, well, no, we're not focused on that anymore. Because the bottom line was that, right? You're just like, well...
Yeah. Nostalgic.
Anyways. I know, right? The video that they put on their website, it got us all, like, hit us right here.
We were all emotional.
It was a good one, too.
It was good. It was well done, because Apple's never done that before, because that's their front page. They got to have call to actions, products, but they didn't.
The amount that we talk about Apple.
I know. We really should just sponsor us.
Yeah.
Can I have an iPod mini in lavender, please?
I hope you enjoy Apple. If you don't enjoy Apple,
if you don't chew Big Red, then you.
Maybe don't. Well, that's the other part, though. I mean, if you're not, that's a weird part.
Android users can FaceTime now.
Yes, because you can actually like get into it.
Yeah,
you can send them the links.
But we've all broken off those friendships because of that already, so they're a little late to the party.
That's okay though. I mean, we can make them back again. So like,
the only person that I know that has an Android is he's not even my stepdad anymore. Anyways, I don't have anybody that has an Android on my phone.
Yeah?
I don't.
Apple gang?
Yeah, I don't know anybody that has
an Android. That's interesting.
Don't.
I feel like programmers do.
I'm friends with a couple like code. Well, they do code, but they have iPhones.
Yeah, Apple's definitely more like design.
But they have their own coding.
They do. They have the Swift,
so
which is
way more like understandable than Python and.
Well, I mean, yeah, from our perspective as designers, kind of a thing. Yeah. But I mean, as like
I've tried to learn it.
With it. Yeah, exactly. That's an interesting one. I don't know.
I took a Skillshare class one time about coding, and I was like, they're like, let's find out which code works better for you, and then I got Swift. I was like, okay, that's fine. Whatever.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Do you have anything else that we were going to talk about?
Not for today's episode. No. Oh, yeah. I think that's pretty much it.
That's it. We should do an episode in Halloween costumes.
Oh, that'd be good.
That'd be cool. I'm going to be Squid Game.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
The mask. No. All right.
I think it may be Big Bird.
That'd be hilarious. I should be. God.
Mostly because I just want to like kick a door open, like the one freaking.
Yeah, and then he stands there in the doorway, like right in his nose. I love that. I have the GIF of that, and
here's what I found.
Excuse me.
We found her.
They looked up Westworld.
Really?
Did you say Westworld at all?
No.
Neither did I.
I mean, that's closer to kind of what we're talking about, though.
I've never seen it.
Really?
No, I've seen like snippets, so I can get references. But
I love Westworld. I've watched all of them.
I have YouTube TV now, and you have to buy season by season still. It was on there for like 2 months, and then I just got on there and it's gone.
That's another one that would be actually really good. Give me a credit.
Yeah.
For that. That would be dope.
Subscription models.
Yeah, charge me a little bit more, but like allow me a credit. Because like I'd buy stuff monthly.
Yeah, I used to do Audible because that
library.
was super easy, but
not?
I wanted everything on Apple, so I was like...
No. Well, there was an integration I saw recently that allowed you to put your audiobooks from Audible into your book app on your phone.
Don't lie to me.
No, totally serious.
Do you have that?
Yeah, I set it up.
Can you send me a link?
Yeah.
Because I have like 20 audiobooks.
Yeah, I know, but it's nice to have them in the books app.
Yeah, because I don't have to have another app.
Which I think is like that API thing where it's like you're working together, which is huge because like if I worked for Apple, that's what I'd be doing. Yeah. Especially with some of the biggest apps that are already in the App Store. Like, why would you not? Like, why is Venmo not integrated into my Wallets app?
Ooh, that makes a lot of sense. Goddamn.
Right? Like, these are the things where you go, there's a basic one that exists in my iPhone. There's a bunch of these other ones that I obviously have as applications, but really they're just APIs.
I could find an argument for Venmo for not doing that because Apple has their own credit card. True. So does Venmo. True. So if you merge them, you're just going to get the Apple one because why would you get the Venmo one?
Because you want another card. Because you want the sharing capability that Apple Card doesn't have.
Yeah, but then if you integrate it, wouldn't Apple just have it then?
No, because it'd still be going through Venmo.
True. Okay, right? That makes a good point.
And like at that point, like Venmo probably already has the like what is that? The intellectual rights to that idea.
Did you ever get an Apple card? Like credit card?
I tried to.
Did you?
No. The credit score that I've got wasn't enough. So I was just like, that's
remember when everyone was like, I got my titanium card, and I was like, I applied and I was able to, but I didn't do it because I was like, I should probably get a smaller credit card before I go for the bigger.
No, mine was more of just like I wasn't accepted because I had literally zero credit history. Oh, so they were just like, you've never had one before, and I'm just like, well, in that case, I guess I'll just stick with debit cards. These are great. Like, don't worry.
Yeah.
But
I'm kind of nervous about that because they're like, we're not a bank, but it's literally a bank. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's what they're. I mean, it's through Morgan Chase. Yeah. So
is it? I thought it was through God, what was the other one? I thought it was through somebody else. I can't remember.
I think it's JP Morgan.
Is it?
I believe. I
thought it was like another big one.
I'm not mistaken. We can look it up though. Yeah. But and that follows with like a bunch of the other ones, like still Note apps too, right? Like Obsidian has that really cool thing where I can visualize my notes in 3D. So why can't I import that into my Notes app kind of a thing as a frame? Or like stock stuff. Like how come I can't, if I've got like crypto trackers on my thing, how come that's not getting pulled into my stocks one?
Goldman Sachs.
Is it Goldman Sachs? Yep. Oh, okay, thank you. Jeez,
I knew it was. JP, I knew it was. I was like, something gold, something gold. Yeah. But
there's a bunch of those. I mean, like and I think about that a lot. Like the shopping app that you've got on the Apple Shop. Obviously, it could be like your Amazon could be in there, all those could be in there because they're already. I mean, technically, that is kind of what they're doing with
that. But they should just integrate it to all Apple apps, so that way you can just log into all your stuff. Because on Apple TV, you can log in to your Netflix and your YouTube and your Amazon Prime Video and have it all there, right? Yeah. But you still have to have the apps on the device.
Yeah, how come I don't have just like a social button on the phone that then goes into all of my social media apps that I can just swipe through? Because obviously that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I would love to just minimize the amount of apps I have, but maximize what the apps can do.
Exactly.
Because then if I don't have to have like 40 shopping apps or like 40 streaming apps, then...
But if you click on one and then you're able to like swipe through stuff when you can't find it, right? That would make sense to me. And then you could pick your favorite because obviously like I'm going to go to like Amazon if I want something delivered sooner. But like if I need something that's like Etsy, I'm still going over to Etsy. Like I'm not going to find it on Amazon. Like they just can't. Nope. So like...
no, that makes perfect sense.
That's what I'm thinking. Same thing with like photo apps. If I've got other photo apps on my phone, like I can
turn on
the camera and then I can just go through them and then you're over to the other one.
I forgot that I had Visco and then I was like, oh... And then I looked at the photos that I had on there. I was obsessed for like a year. I pay for it every year still. And I have all these photos in there. And I'm like, I'm going to use the warm tones. And I'm like, oh my God, I look tan. Nice. And I'm like, not obviously tan. So I'm like,
Oh, we now have 4 in. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Good episode.
Good episode. Thanks.
Fantastic stuff.
See you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.